Thank you, Dr. Paz, for that wonderful introduction. I have to tell you I'm a little nervous because I'm a bit starstruck tonight with all of you. I was telling somebody I spent about 95% of my life pretending to be other people, and when it's time to be myself, I get nervous, so you'll have to excuse me. But I want to thank Research America. It's an incredible honor to receive the award bearing the name of Dr. Isadore Rosenfeld. He's not only a distinguished physician with countless awards, but for his advocacy for patients' rights. And tonight I'm humbled also to share this evening with so many distinguished giants who have made an indelible impact on the medical and scientific research community. I'm hoping to meet Vice President Joe Biden. I congratulate him on the 21st Century Cares Act and congratulate him also on his cancer moonshot. And I would also like to, yes. And I would also like to congratulate his wife, Dr. Jill Biden, who has recently been named the chair of Save the Children. Lymphedema is an incurable chronic disease that causes painful and disfiguring swelling throughout the body, and it's caused by fluid buildup due to the lymphatic system, to the damage in the lymphatic system. Infections are common and often lead to more serious complications, such as sepsis. 10 million Americans suffer from LE. That's more than MS, muscular dystrophy, AIDS, Parkinson's, and ALS combined. Incredibly, in 4 years of medical school, doctors spend an aggregate between 15 and 30 minutes on the lymphatic system. Primary care physicians are a patient's first line of defense. And when they fail to diagnose lymphedema, thousands of those patients with LE suffer needlessly for years, while the disease progresses, and making it much more difficult to reverse in its later severe stages. I developed LE in both arms as a result of 22 lymph nodes I had removed during a double mastectomy almost 5 years ago. I was able to find and afford treatment early, and so my LE is not so noticeable. But in the last year, I have met many who are far worse off than I. The numbers have become faces, people who have met their disfiguring, their physical disabilities, their emotional stress with courage and with incredible elegance. With this recognition, you are bringing hope for cancer survivors that will develop LE. You give parents whose children are born with lymphatic diseases reason for optimism. And you recognize the suffering of our military veterans whose lymphedema stems from wounds they received protecting our country. And you tell those with lower extremity LE who often lose their mobility that they are no longer forgotten. You send a message of encouragement to our members around the world who are coming forward now to join the Learn movement. We have 9 new chapters in the United States and 3 international chapters, one in Galicia, Spain recently, and we have a chapter in India. I have a warrior who guides me in my pledge to educate the world about lymphedema. 8-year-old Emma Detlefson was born with primary lymphedema and suffers from it in both legs. Bouts of cellulitis have required her to be hospitalized all too often and test the bountiful courage of her parents, Tiffany and Nick, and her brother Jacob. However, none of this has stopped Emma from becoming a New York State Youth Ambassador for Learn. She raises funds for research and has proved herself to be a most powerful public speaker for the cause. Her bravery and outspokenness inspires all of us with lymphedema to put our physical and emotional pain aside so that we can address the challenge in front of us. Last year, Emma addressed the crowd at the New York Walk to Fight Lymphedema and Lymphatic Diseases. She was 7 years old then. She ended her remarks with a call to action saying, quote, "If I can do something hard for me, like walk across the Brooklyn Bridge and back, then maybe a smart scientist can do something hard for him and find a cure for this in my lifetime." Emma and her family are with us tonight, and I would like them to stand and be recognized. And I hope some of you will introduce yourself to Emma later. She's the girl in the pretty pink ballet skirt with the sparkles on it and a purple cape. It's her favorite color, purple, and she has a team that she uses for the races called Emma's Incredibles, and they're doing a great job. In addition, I would like to acknowledge Dr. Emily Eicher, who manages my LE, Bill Rapisi, the CEO of Learn, Dr. Nancy Gray, who heads the Gordon Research Conferences, Dr. Stan Roxon of the Stanford Center for Lymphatic and Venous Disorders, Dr. James Madara, who heads the AMA, and Dr. Griffin Rogers, the director of the NIDDK. I would not be receiving this award without their steadfast support. I would also like to thank Mary Woolley and her staff, and she's done an amazing job putting this event together. And I would also like to thank so many of you that I've met here today. I am learning so much from all of you, and so many of you have told me that you are approaching, from your particular disciplines, a more holistic approach, a more patient-centered approach. And to hear all of you talk about this has not only been a learning experience for me, but has been very exciting to think that we are making progress to look at things as a whole person instead of pieces of a person. In closing, at the NIH, I learned that research on the lymphatic system could not only lead to a cure for lymphatic diseases, but one day may unlock the mysteries of Alzheimer's, AIDS, diabetes, and heart disease, and cancer metastasis. And I have a dream that maybe one day the lymphatic system, instead of being forgotten, will become an umbrella spanning all of the silos of the NIH. Last year, Senator Chuck Schumer sent a request to the Senate Appropriations Committee on Health asking for $70 million in lymphatic and lymphedema research and funding for the NIH. I want to emphasize that I'm not asking this funding for myself, but for Emma and for the invisible millions standing behind me tonight. And I accept this extraordinary award on their behalf. Thank you all very much.